Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here. You've arrived just in time.
Yay.
We need your help.
We're about to tell a story, and we need you to say, every time we point at you, no way, Jose. Can you do that? Let's try it. Ready? No way, Jose. Very good.
This is the story of Jose. Once upon a time, there was a rooster named Jose. Jose was a very proud rooster who loved to sing. One day, Jose received a letter from his uncle Perico. Perico, by the way, is Spanish for parrot. Perico was inviting Jose to his wedding. Jose was very excited about this because he was certain that all of the people at the wedding would want to hear him sing. So the morning of the wedding, Jose woke up bright and early. He cleaned himself up, got himself looking his very best, and he started marching down the road without even stopping to eat breakfast. He soon realized this was a mistake because he was very hungry. So when he came to a bush on the side of the road from which was hanging the biggest, juiciest, plumpest, ripest, reddest raspberry that he had ever seen, he could not stop himself from gobbling it down. He knew this was a mistake. As soon as he had eaten it, he went over and he looked at his reflection in a puddle on the side of the road, and he saw that his beak was covered in bright red raspberry juice. I can't go to my uncle's wedding looking like this, he thought. I need to find some way to clean myself up. If only I had a towel or a washcloth or something to wipe this off. And then he had an idea. He went to the grass on the side of the road and he said, "Grass, grass, clean my beak. I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." But the grass said,
No way, Jose.
Jose wasn't going to give up. He knew there had to be something he could do to get this grass to do what he wanted. So he looked around and he noticed in the farm on the side of the road, there was a sheep in that field. So he marched up to that sheep and he said, "Sheep, sheep, eat the grass won't clean my feet. I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." But the sheep looked back at Jose and he said,
No way, Jose.
Jose wasn't going to give up now. He looked around some more and then he noticed, slinking through the forest nearby, there was a wolf. Jose marched up to that wolf and he said, "Wolf, wolf, bite the sheep won't eat the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet. I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." But that wolf looked at Jose and he said,
No way, Jose.
Jose wasn't going to admit defeat. He thought a little more and then he noticed, sleeping in front of the porch of the farmhouse, was a dog. So he went over to that dog and he said, "Dog, dog, chase the wolf won't bite the sheep, and the sheep won't eat the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet, and I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." But that dog looked up at Jose and he said,
No way, Jose.
He still wasn't ready to give up. He noticed, sitting in a chair on that porch, was a man. So he walked up to the man and he said, "Man, man, beat the dog won't chase the wolf, and the wolf won't bite the sheep, and the sheep won't eat the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet, and I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." But that man looked down at Jose and he said,
No way, Jose.
Jose had come this far, he was not going to give up now. So he thought, and 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 then he remembered that every time the man walked past the graveyard, he would pull his coat up around his neck, he would walk a little bit faster, he would cross himself, and he would say a little prayer. And that was when Jose realized the man was afraid of the ghosts in the graveyard. Jose wasn't afraid of the ghosts. He marched into that graveyard as bold as anything, and he said, "Ghost, ghost, scare the man won't feed the dog, and the dog won't chase the wolf, and the wolf won't bite the sheep, and the sheep won't eat the grass, and the grass won't clean my feet, and I'm going to the wedding of my uncle Perico." Well, those ghosts, they rose up out of their graves and they went, "Ooh." That man, his eyes got as big as dinner plates. He jumped up, he grabbed a stick, and he started beating that dog. The dog went... The dog ran over and he started chasing the wolf, and the wolf went... Ow! The wolf went over and started biting the sheep, and the sheep went... Meh. The sheep ran over and started eating that grass, and the grass went swish, 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 and it cleaned off Jose's beak. Jose was so proud of himself. He was clean and ready to go to his uncle's wedding once more. So he marched down the road, he got to his uncle's wedding, he sat in that church, and he watched with all the other people as his Uncle Perico got married. And at the reception afterwards, Jose stood up and said, "My beloved Uncle Perico, all you fine people here at this wedding, would you like me to sing a song for you?" And all the people at that wedding, they said,
No way, Jose!
The end.